right. So have you seen this thing going around about the U.S. maybe adding cryptocurrency to its strategic reserves?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty wild, right?
It is.
Like, I get it. Countries have stockpiles of oil and gold and stuff like that.
Right.
But cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
that's a whole other level.
It is a new world.
And we're not just talking about Bitcoin or something, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
This is about XRP. Some people are saying it could wipe out the entire U.S. national debt.
You know, it's interesting how this all started, right?
Yeah, how'd this even get started?
Yeah, it goes back to an executive order that President Trump signed a while ago. He wanted to look into whether the U.S. should hold, what he called digital asset stockpiles.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's where it came from.
Yeah, and that really got people talking, like, could we actually see a U.S.-backed cryptocurrency reserve? And then the next question is, well, if so, which one would it be?
Right, that's the big question.
Exactly.
Go, why XRP?
Oh.
Why not just go with Bitcoin? I mean, it's the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the obvious choice for something like a national reserve?
You'd think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But some people started thinking, well, maybe the U.S. government would want to back a cryptocurrency that's, made in America, so to speak.
Interesting.
And Ripple, the company behind XRP, they're U.S.-based, so it kind of fits that, right?
Right, yeah.
Plus, Ripple holds a ton of XRP, like a huge amount, in this thing called escrow.
Escrow, yeah.
And that's led to some even crazier ideas.
Like what?
Like maybe Ripple could just, donate some of that XRP.
Donate it.
Yeah, to get this whole national reserve thing off the ground.
Wow, hold on a second. Before we get into all of that, let's talk numbers for a minute.
Okay.
How much XRP are we even talking about here?
So Ripple has about 37.7 billion XRP in escrow.
37.7 billion, wow.
Yeah, it's a big number.
But could it even make a dent in the national debt? I mean, the national debt's got to be enormous, right?
Oh, it is. It's massive. $36.4 trillion.
36.4 trillion.
Okay.
Okay, so Ripple has 37.7 billion XRP.
Right.
And to figure out how much that's actually worth, we got to look at the current price of XRP.
Exactly.
Which is around, what, $3.2 per token?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So, okay, we do the math on that. 37.7 billion XRP at $3.2 a token.
Right.
That's about $120 billion.
Right.
So basically, it's a drop in the bucket compared to the actual debt, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
We're not exactly talking about wiping it out.
It's more like, imagine trying to empty a bathtub with a teaspoon.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Small potatoes.
Yeah.
So then, how did this whole idea of XRP wiping out the national debt even gain traction?
Well, for that escrow to cover the entire national debt, each XRP would have to hit a price of, get this, $965.5.
$965.5 for one XRP.
Per token, yeah.
Wow, that's more than some people make in a week for just one digital coin.
It's a lot, yeah.
So what would have to happen to make XRP skyrocket like that? Are we talking about some kind of, I don't know, cryptocurrency pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? It'd take a lot more than just luck, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're talking about this thing called compound annual growth rate, or CAGR. It's basically the average yearly growth rate you need over a certain time.
Okay.
So to get XRP to that $965.5 target, let's say within President Trump's remaining term, which is 4 years,
Okay.
XRP would need a DGR of 316%.
Wait, 316%?
Every single year for 4 years straight.
So every year, the price of XRP would have to more than triple.
Exactly.
That sounds less like an investment and more like winning the lottery 4 times in a row.
Definitely a long shot.
Didn't the crypto market crash pretty badly not too long ago?
It did, yeah.
So to see this kind of growth, XRP would have to defy everything we know about the crypto market, right?
Pretty much.
It's notoriously volatile.
Oh, yeah, extremely volatile.
It's like, what, riding a roller coaster in a hurricane?
Something like that.
Okay, I'm starting to see why people are a little skeptical of this whole thing.
Yeah, I can see why. But even if we pretend for a second that this crazy growth spurt actually happened,
Okay.
what would that do to the entire crypto world?
Well,
Not to mention the global financial system. I mean, that's got to send shockwaves everywhere, right?
well, it'd be huge. Yeah, it makes you think about just how powerful cryptocurrency could be and how much it could disrupt things.
And we haven't even talked about why the U.S. government would even consider doing this.
Right.
What would be the advantage?
That's a great question, and that's what we're going to dig into next.
Okay, I'm ready for part 2.
I mean, why would they back a cryptocurrency, especially one that could potentially, challenge the U.S. dollar?
Yeah, isn't that kind of risky?
Well, yeah, it's definitely a bold move, and there are definitely risks involved, but you got to look at it from the perspective of the people who think this could be a strategic advantage for the U.S.
Okay.
Like, imagine a world where the U.S. has a digital dollar,
Right.
cryptocurrency that they can directly control. That would give them a ton of influence over monetary policy, right?
Yeah, right.
Which has always been tied to the physical dollar.
Makes sense. So more control over their own financial system.
Exactly.
But why go through all the trouble of creating a whole new digital dollar when they already have the regular one? What's the big advantage?
Well, have you ever heard of SWIFT?
Yeah, that's the system that most countries use for international transactions.
Right. And right now, the U.S. has a lot of power within that system.
Right.
But some people argue that a U.S.-backed digital dollar could be a faster, cheaper, and potentially more secure alternative.
Interesting.
And that could attract other countries to adopt it.
Right.
Which would further expand U.S. influence in the global financial system.
So it's like a digital power play.
Kind of, yeah.
A way to reshape the rules of the game when it comes to global finance.
Exactly.
But wouldn't that make some other countries nervous?
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine if China or Russia suddenly announced their own state-backed cryptocurrency.
Right. It's like, who has the most powerful crypto?
Exactly.
The world might start to feel a bit like a digital Wild West.
It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
It's one of the many unknowns in this whole situation.
Right.
Like, how would other countries react to a U.S.-backed cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Would we see a race to create competing digital currencies, each one trying to be the dominant one?
Right.
These are big geopolitical questions,
Yeah.
They go way beyond just finance.
It's a potential shift in the balance of global power, all because of this idea of the U.S. holding cryptocurrency reserves.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is.
So let's bring it back to what we were talking about before.
Okay.
The potential impact of XRP wiping out the U.S. national debt.
Right.
Even if we ignore how likely that is, what would actually happen if it did?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Would it be all sunshine and rainbows for the U.S. economy? Or are there some downsides we haven't thought about?
Right. Let's pretend for a minute that it actually happened.
Okay.
Poof. The national debt is gone, all thanks to XRP.
All right, so no more national debt.
What happens next?
Well, it's tempting to think that it would solve all of the U.S.'s economic problems, right?
Yeah, you'd think so.
But it's not that simple.
Oh, why not?
Well, think about all that money that would suddenly be flowing into the U.S. economy, even if it's in the form of cryptocurrency.
Okay.
That could lead to rapid inflation.
Inflation, right.
Meaning the value of the dollar could plummet.
Oh?
Things could get really expensive really quickly.
So wiping out the debt could actually backfire.
It's a possibility.
And it could actually hurt the average American.
It's not as simple as some politicians make it sound, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
But the point is, there's no guarantee that getting rid of the debt would be a clear win for the U.S. economy.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the U.S. either.
Right. We were talking about SWIFT in the global financial system before.
Exactly.
Imagine what would happen if a big chunk of U.S. debt, which is kind of the foundation of that system, just disappeared.
It would be a huge shock to the system.
Yeah. Are we talking global financial chaos?
Well, it's certainly a scenario with some potentially unsettling consequences.
Yeah.
But remember, we're kind of exploring the extremes here.
Right?
The point is to understand how complex things are.
Right.
And how this...
What would it actually take for that to happen?
Yeah, what would it take? Is there anything happening right now that suggests that kind of growth is even remotely possible?
That's a great question. Let's shift gears and explore what factors could actually drive that kind of growth for XRP. So we've been talking about XRP reaching these crazy prices.
Right.
It's a long shot. We know that.
Yeah.
But let's say, just for fun, it actually happened.
Okay.
What could make that happen? What would have to change?
Well, you'd need a few things to fall into place.
Like what?
First, XRP would have to be adopted on a massive scale.
Okay.
And not just as, something people trade,
Right.
but as a real payment solution.
Okay. So like people actually using it to buy things.
Exactly. Like imagine big companies, banks, even governments using it for transactions.
Especially for international payments.
Yeah,
right?
cross-border payments. That's a big one.
So we're talking about XRP going from like this niche cryptocurrency to the main way that money moves around the world.
It's a big jump, I know.
It's a huge jump.
But Ripple's been working on this for years.
Really?
Yeah, they've been making deals with financial institutions trying to get them to use XRP.
Interesting.
Because it's faster and cheaper than traditional systems like SWIFT.
Right, right. So if enough of those big players get on board, it could create a kind of snowball effect.
Exactly.
More demand for XRP, and that pushes the price up.
That's the idea.
But that's not all, right?
No, you'd also need governments to be on board.
Oh, right, regulations.
Yeah, the regulatory environment for crypto is all over the place right now.
Yeah, it's different everywhere you go.
Exactly, and that makes businesses nervous.
Makes sense.
They don't want to invest in something if the rules could change overnight.
So for XRP to really take off, governments would have to not only accept crypto, but also create clear rules that encourage its use.
That's a big part of it.
Wow, okay.
Oh, and one more thing.
What's that?
Market sentiment.
Oh, right, the psychology of the market.
Exactly. Crypto is driven by hype, speculation, fear of missing out, all that stuff.
So if people start feeling good about XRP
Yeah.
and the whole crypto market is going up,
Right.
that could really push the price up.
It could go crazy.
So we're talking about a lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm.
Global adoption, friendly regulations, and a ton of positive hype.
Pretty much.
The stars would have to align perfectly.
They would.
And even then, it's still hard to predict, right?
Oh, yeah, predicting the future of crypto. It's impossible.
Like trying to predict the weather.
Exactly.
So for our listeners out there, what's the takeaway? Should they be buying XRP hoping to get rich quick?
I wouldn't recommend that.
No.
This has all been hypothetical, you know,
Right.
a way to explore the possibilities.
Yeah.
But any investment, especially in crypto, is risky.
You always got to be careful.
Exactly.
Do your research. Don't just follow the hype.
Right.
But even if the scenario is unlikely, it shows you how powerful crypto could be.
It's pushing the boundaries of finance.
The future of money is changing right in front of us.
And crypto is a big part of that.
Yeah,
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
it is. Well, folks, that's our look at this, Ken. Crazy idea that XRP could wipe out the national debt.
It's been fun to explore.
It has. It's a long shot, but it makes you think.
It does.
It shows you the potential of cryptocurrency, how it could disrupt things.
It's a whole new world.
So stay curious, do your research, and get ready for a wild ride.
The future of finance is going to be exciting.
That's for sure.